Israeli murderers are called Commandos. Arab commandos are called terrorists. Contra killers are called freedom fighters. The CIA doesn't kill anybody anymore. They neutralize people. Or they depopulate the area. The government doesn't lie, it engages in disinformation. Smug, greedy, well-fed white people have invented a language to conceal their sins. It's as simple as that. Israeli murder...
Okay, so we'll watch another time. This is a very short clip, but yeah.
Murderers are called Commandos. Arab commandos are called terrorists. Contra killers are called freedom fighters. The CIA doesn't kill anybody anymore. They neutralize people. Or they depopulate the area. The government doesn't lie, it engages in disinformation. Smug, greedy, well-fed white people have invented a language to conceal their sins. It's as simple as that.
So, yeah, I think the point is well made in the sense that the choice of words, or in that sense, the creation of words, to give a very different connotation of the same action of different people, right? So there are two different group of people that do basically the same thing, but the connotation becomes so different because the word used is so different. And that is the interesting part about when you subconsciously have a certain conclusion about certain things based on the wording used. For example, from the mainstream media that is reporting something, they can say they are reporting facts, but the word used is giving a certain connotation, and that's why you can see that the same fact reported by different organization with different agenda might use very different wordings to give a different idea about what happened, right? So, you know, word of freedom fighter versus terrorist. Obviously, when you listen to it, the same incident happened, but the wording used totally shift what you perceive to have happened, right? So I think that's very obvious, but it is interesting to note that whether we notice how we are being affected by the usage of these words, right? So that is interesting, and looking at what is happening, right? So coincidentally, when I'm making this video, very recently we have the release of hostages of both sides, we see, in the Palestine-Israel conflict, right? Or, you know, I'll just use the word conflict, right? That even that word have a different connotation than if you say different words, right? But because I'm not discussing that, so I'm just using that there are two parties that is against each other in this episode, and recently there's the ceasefire, etc., and exchange of how to say, people that they have held captive, and the wording used by, is it hostages, is it captive of war, is it prisoners, is it what? And those, if you notice, if you want to, how to say, decipher what is the agenda behind any particular media, you can just see the word they use. And when they use that kind of word consistently, it basically revealed that, okay, they have the agenda of painting this as something. I think that is the interesting part, right? Because one thing is to notice what is happening in the sense of why are these different media agencies using words very differently. Second is, despite that, I think I noticed that people still would have their own bias, and they would agree totally with the usage of word by certain agencies because they agree with that viewpoint, right? And hence I said, you know, that choice of word is valid and accurate, while those are the one that is having the propaganda, etc., right? And vice versa. So that is interesting. I'm not going there in this video. I'm just saying in this basically as a reflect of this video, this short clip, the usage of words, and of course, in the sense that who controls the narrative controls the idea, right? So you can say, unfortunately, those who are in control of the narrative right now have a certain agenda that unfortunately, you know, lead to the current perception of people, even though nowadays there are certain things that is becomes harder and harder to conceal, but still looking at the comments, it's still sad to see how people perceive certain things. Anyway, what do you take on, is there any takes on what George Carlin said in this clip, etc.? Feel free to share. Thank you for watching. See you next time.